Today on NewsWatch, election double standard. See how the Muslim military parents who supported Clinton were praised, while the grieving mother who supported Donald Trump got trashed. Plus, they knocked on more than 100,000 doors in North Carolina alone. Meet the people on a mission to make unborn life a priority in this election year. And we sit down with gospel legend Shirley Caesar. Hear why she believes God has given her a brand new turnaround after all these years. And thank you so much for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. New twist today in the race for the White House. The latest poll shows Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton now leading GOP rival Donald Trump. And Trump suggests the campaign is rigged, calling Clinton a new name as he tries to navigate controversial comments he made about a Muslim family. Charlene Aaron has the story.
A big convention bounce for Hillary Clinton. A new CNN poll has her leading GOP rival Donald Trump 52 to 43% in a two-way matchup. The Republican nominee is still under fire for his response to the Muslim parents of a decorated U.S. soldier killed in Iraq after the father spoke out against Trump at the Democratic convention. Trump's remarks has sparked outrage from veterans and members of his own party. GOP Senator and war hero John McCain blasting Trump's comments. While our party has bestowed upon him the nomination, it is not accompanied by unfettered license to defame those who are the best among us. Trump's campaign is now appealing to GOP colleagues on Capitol Hill to help quell the controversy. Meanwhile, a mother whose son was killed in Benghazi is also speaking out. Patricia Smith spoke against Clinton at the Republican convention, and she told CNN she's gotten much different treatment than the Khan family.
I was treated like dirt. I don't think that the Khan family was treated that way, but I was treated like dirt. I was called a liar. She went on TV many times and nodding her head, thinking that she is so wonderful and she knows everything and I know nothing, and I was just imagining this. I don't imagine my son getting killed. I don't imagine that at all.
On the campaign trail, Clinton attacking Trump's tax cut plan and again calling on him to release his tax returns.
And while we're at it, we would like to see those tax returns, wouldn't we? My husband and I put out, I think, about 33 or 34 years worth, if you're interested.
And Trump alleges that former Democratic candidate Bernie Sanders made a deal with the devil to endorse his former rival Hillary Clinton.
If he would have just not done anything, just go home, go to sleep, relax, he would have been a hero. But he made a deal with the devil. She's the devil. He made a deal with the devil.
There's still a long way to go till Election Day, and many of today's controversies could easily be forgotten by November. Clinton's poll bounce could fade, as bounces often do, turning this into a tight race once again. And this could still be anything but a normal election year, with millions of people still frustrated by the status quo and the economy, and many still wanting change. Charlene Aaron, CBN News.
And meanwhile, Hillary Clinton's latest controversial email scandal comments have not received the same attention as the family who targeted Trump. In an interview with Fox News, Clinton once again defended her use of a private email server for official government business.
I made a mistake not using two different email addresses. I have said that, and I repeat it again today. It is certainly not anything that I ever would do again. I take classification seriously. I relied on and had every reason to rely on the judgments of the professionals with whom I worked.
FBI Director James Comey told Congress classified email was definitely sent from Clinton's server, and the Washington Post fact-checker gave Clinton's new defense 4 Pinocchios, saying she is still relying on excessively technical and legalistic answers. The latest government report shows the economy is growing at an annual rate of just 1% so far this year. President Obama has talked about the solid growth of the economy, making this statement earlier this year.
We should be proud of the progress we've made. We have recovered from the worst economic crisis since the 1930s, the worst in my lifetime and the lifetime of most of the people in this room. And we've done it faster, stronger, better, more durably than just about any other advanced economy.
But the Wall Street Journal points out in terms of average annual growth, the pace of this expansion has been by far the weakest of any since 1949. This election year, both parties face division within the ranks, but in contrast to those divisions, one conservative group stands united in a single mission, making life their priority in this election. As David Brody reports, they are going about it one step at a time, literally.
These volunteers are connecting to voters the old-fashioned way, going door to door, sharing the importance of electing a pro-life president.
We have the largest grassroots ground game in the state of North Carolina. Our efforts are a direct counter to Planned Parenthood.
And that effort is far-reaching. So far, they've knocked on more than 100,000 doors in North Carolina alone. The Susan B. Anthony list is targeting many battleground states around the country, including right here in North Carolina. And when you have a candidate like Donald Trump, who has said a few controversial things on the subject of abortion, well, then you set your sights on someone entirely different. Not Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton. It's no secret Trump shares a shaky relationship with the pro-life community. A once pro-choice candidate has stumbled when asked about the issue.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
The answer is that there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah.
But when it's a decision regarding abortion, this group prefers a candidate searching for an answer over one who has clearly made their choice.
We've been kind of uncomfortable at one point also with him, but he is on the campaign trail. He has been on record now to be pro-life and to swing pro-life, and we want to hold him to his commitments on the campaign trail. We've got two candidates, and the fact of the matter is Hillary Clinton is way too radical for the country.
Williams believes the key is to tell people about Clinton's specific stances on abortion. For example, Clinton recently praised Planned Parenthood and took a stand against a congressional push for the pain-capable bill, which is a law banning abortions after 20 weeks.
I have been on record in favor of a late pregnancy regulation that would have exceptions for the life and health of the mother. I object to the recent effort in Congress to pass a law saying after 20 weeks, no such exceptions.
Advocates for the law say evidence clearly states a baby can feel pain after 20 weeks. They see this information as particularly important to women and Hispanics who may be pro-life but have deep reservations about President Trump.
One of the things that we're most excited about this cycle is our outreach to Hispanic voters and Democrats and women, because we know that these are traditional Democratic voter groups, but they often don't know just how extreme the Democratic position on abortion is.
For SBA list volunteer Angie Dowd, the mission isn't political, it's personal.
I am only here because my mother said no to abortion. My parents wasn't planning on having another child, but my mother accidentally got pregnant with me. And even though it was a very high-risk pregnancy, she chose to risk her own life to have me.
It's that sort of motivation that keeps canvassers like Angie going, one foot in front of the other, one door at a time. David Brody, CBN News, in Raleigh, North Carolina.
This week, the U.S. is expanding the fight against ISIS in Libya. Pentagon officials say the U.S. began launching airstrikes in the city of Sirte on Monday. CNN reports the strikes came at the request of the Libyan government to support forces fighting ISIS in its primary stronghold in Libya. No word yet on how many ISIS militants or structures have been hit by those airstrikes. Franklin Graham is reacting to the Pope's comment that defended Islam. The Pope said it is wrong to connect Islam with terrorism and violence, and he had compared terrorists to a Catholic man who killed his girlfriend. But Graham says the Pope is wrong, that Islam is the driving force behind terrorism. On Facebook, he wrote, "Religion is behind the violence and jihad we're seeing in Europe, the Middle East, Asia, and here in this country. It is a religion that calls for the extermination of infidels outside their faith, specifically Jews and Christians. Radical Islamists are following the teachings of the Quran. We should call it what it is." It is now legal to carry handguns into universities in Texas. The law, passed in 2015, went into effect Monday. Campus carry only applies to those who have a concealed handgun license, are 21 years old, and have state-approved training. The University of Texas at Austin reports fewer than 1% of students carry a license. University officials point out that guns on campus must be concealed at all times. So they're telling students to call police if they do see someone with a gun. Coming up, unearthing history in the Holy Land. See what archaeologists are learning about one of the key enemies of Israel, the Philistines. The leader of Egypt's Coptic Church says Christians are facing increased attacks and violent persecution. Pope Tawadros II said in a recent meeting with lawmakers there has been an attack on Christians nearly every month since 2013. Christians are particularly vulnerable in Egypt, making up only 10% of the population. A Muslim mob recently attacked and torched Christian homes over a rumor that they were building a church. In May, an elderly Christian woman was stripped, beaten, and dragged through the streets. Archaeologists in Israel say they've uncovered a Philistine cemetery, and bones from that cemetery have given some clues for the first time ever about the origins and history of an ancient people who were one of the key enemies of the Israelites in the Bible. CBN Middle East Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell brings us this story from Jerusalem.
Archaeologists found the cemetery while digging in Ashkelon, one of 5 known ancient Philistine cities.
Now we have a major cemetery right next to one of these 5 cities of the Philistines. So we're sure we've nailed it. We're sure we have a cemetery of the Philistines.
After 30 years of digging in Ashkelon, archaeologists say discovering this cemetery was an astounding way to end the expedition. New findings from the cemetery and artifacts from the excavation are on display here at the Rockefeller Museum in Jerusalem.
The name Ashkelon actually comes from the root shekel, so S-K-L, which means to weigh. The shekel, the new Israeli shekel, is also from there. So the name Ashkelon automatically connects us to commerce.
For years, archaeologists and scholars search for clues to the origin of the Philistines.
We're one of the few sites that can tell the story of the Philistines from beginning to end. They arrive, we think, from the world of the Aegean, and then at the end, in the 7th century, we see a brief renaissance, and then we see their final fiery destruction.
Archaeology professor Daniel Master from Wheaton College says the cemetery contains thousands of remains, of which more than 200 have been recovered. Now, tests on the bone samples from the cemetery that date from the 11th to the 8th century BC could confirm what many long believed, that the Philistines were mariners or sea people and traders who migrated to ancient Israel from the west.
This is going to allow us to see the Philistines face to face and to tell their stories not through the texts of their enemies, as the story has been so often told, but now we'll be able to tell the story from the standpoint of the Philistines themselves.
Harvard University archaeology professor Lawrence Steger started the expedition in 1985. He pointed out that most biblical references to the Philistines pit them as bitter enemies of Israel.
Most of the portrayal you get in the Bible is a negative one because they want to compare an Israelite against a Philistine. They are the uncircumcised, we are the circumcised.
Philistine has the idea of uncultured or unsophisticated. But what we find is that the Philistines were plenty cultured and plenty sophisticated, and they were quite a cosmopolitan people, an international people.
Other scholars say uncircumcised likely referred to the fact they were idol worshippers. The Philistines lived in Ashkelon for about 600 years.
That's a long time when we think about it in terms of even the United States and how long we've been there. And then finally they were destroyed in 604 BC.
They were destroyed by King Nebuchadnezzar shortly before the Judeans were carried off to Babylon, as described in the Bible. According to archaeologists, the Philistines never returned to Israel, and in fact, they were never heard of again. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, the Rockefeller Museum, Jerusalem.
Next, from the Clay Hills of North Carolina to the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Shirley Caesar looks back at her storied career and shares why she feels the best is yet to come. She is a legend in gospel music. Shirley Caesar has won 11 Grammys, 14 Stellar Awards, 18 Dove Awards, and now she has her own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But even after decades in the recording industry, the singer and pastor tells me she still has so much more she wants to do.
Going to go through in life. Oh, but I come to tell you at the end of the day, you're going to win. Why? Because it's all right. It's all right.
Pastor Shirley Caesar's powerful voice is her signature. With more than 40 albums under her belt, she's been sharing music for about 60 years. She first made her mark with gospel pioneers, the Caravans. Fill This House is your latest project.
Yes, it is.
How would you describe this particular work?
Anointed. We worked feverishly to bring it into fruition. One of my goddaughters gave me the idea of going online and putting it out there, write my song. And songs came in by the hundreds, and Fill the House was one of them. And It's All Right, It's Okay, one of them.
You paired with Anthony Hamilton on that single.
It's all right, it's okay. Don't you let your troubles get in your way.
How did that happen? Was this your idea? What happened?
No. The record company did it. When I went into the studio, I recorded the whole song by myself. So what they did was they just slid that second verse out. He went in there and just tore it up.
This is a milestone recording for Pastor Caesar. It's her first since the death of her husband, Bishop Harold Williams, and her first.
Ladies and gentlemen, we proudly welcome to the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Pastor Shirley Caesar.
As a member of the Hollywood Walk of Fame. 50 years as a solo recording artist.
Yes.
You've gotten a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yes.
How are you feeling?
I am excited. Me, from the Clay Hills of North Carolina, me, little Shirley. So many times I sit up and I said, I can't believe it. And now my name is right up there in front of the Fonda Theater with Lucille Ball's name, Gregory Peck, BB and CC, and now Shirley Caesar. Oh, unbelievable.
How do you continue as you get older to stay so relevant?
Well, for years, they were listening to the old Shirley Caesar, old songs like Hold My Mule, No Charge, Satan, we're gonna tear your kingdom down. Satan, we're gonna tear your kingdom down. Yes, we are.
Oprah Winfrey recently invited the First Lady of Gospel to re-record her classic song for a drama series on her network.
For years, it was those songs that really kept me alive. But one day, other powerful songs just started coming my way. It just seems like the Lord is giving me a brand new turnaround. I believe now, seemingly, that my latter, now, is going to be even greater than my past. I just thank God for that. Can you believe and
Pastor Caesar's new songs speak to today's concerns, from the deadly violence on city streets to the shooting at a church in Charleston, South Carolina. It's the same church where she received her first honorary doctorate degree 35 years ago.
9 worshipers are in their church worshiping. This young man comes in, sits there, enjoy, they love on him, they welcome him, and then while their heads are bowed, this coward takes their lives. And may I say, where's the camera? May I say, It took me 2 weeks, I'm being honest, to forgive that young man because he was a coward. It took me 2 Bible studies as we discussed it and talked about it. Why? How could somebody come into God's house?
The Bible studies gave birth to a song. That's also on her Fill This House project.
Is there anything that you are still looking to do? You've acted, you've got your star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame,
Yes.
you pastor this great church. Anything else you're looking forward to doing? Any other dreams?
I'd like to do some more big screen, I think. I'd like to do some more acting.
Put a smile on your face. It's gonna be all right.
And the busy singer and pastor already has a movie in the works.
And as you just saw, Pastor Caesar is not slowing down. Right now, she's inviting everyone to her church in Raleigh for a week-long conference with some of her famous friends in ministry. It started last night with Pastor Donnie McClurkin and continues with Pastor Hezekiah Walker today. We've got much more information at our website, cbnnews.com. It is time now for your Tuesday Tweetable, and today's message is simple but powerful. Think on this. Fear is a powerful force, but faith is still more powerful, and it only takes a seed of faith to defeat a mountain of fear. So walk in faith today and walk in love, knowing that love, perfect love, casts out all fear. With that word, make this a terrific Tuesday. That is going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. You can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about at cbnnews.com. Hope you'll join us again right here next time. Make this a terrific Tuesday. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.